Can you talk a bit about how you did your cold email automation? Because I think a lot of people would be interested in also having 25% conversion on their cold emails.
There's a mix of art and science. The team at persistiq.com puts out some really good content, but I would recommend that people who are trying that focus on depth first rather than breadth, meaning you want to write fewer emails that are really good rather than a lot of emails that are really bad. And kind of the key to a good email, besides a lot of copywriting and subject line optimization, things like that, is relevance and personalization. So there's a big difference between, hey, are you hiring? And, hey, I saw that you're hiring. And then, being more specific of like, hey, I saw you're hiring for a Ruby on Rails developer in Cleveland. Here are 3 actively looking for work. So the closer you can get to solving their problem, the more, results you'll have. And just, keeping it ultra personalized and relevant to their needs is important. Because like what doesn't work is like, oh, I'm going to go buy 10,000 emails and, send 10,000 messages saying, hey, are you hiring? And hope that 3 or 4 of them are. Like that doesn't work. That, causes problems. But making it manual first is the most important thing.
In order to figure out what works to begin with, what you can automate later.
Yeah. I mean, if you are manually sending cold outreach emails, you go find someone on LinkedIn and you send them a message, and then you compare that to kind of how, like, the cold outreach emails you get in your inbox. I mean, like, having been someone who is hiring at companies, I get so many emails telling me all kinds of stuff that I don't want from agencies and, software startups and all this different stuff. And just like look at those emails and compare it, like study them, because you can learn more from a bad email in some ways than you can learn from a good one. Like, why is it annoying? Why did it end up in your spam box? Like, why does it seem out of touch? And just try to keep it natural and don't send bad emails and you won't have problems.
Yeah, at the beginning too, like, it's fine to do so many things manually because any single sale is a meaningful like percent change in your revenue or your customer base.
Yeah.
When you go from 1 to 2, you just grew 100%. It's worth it to do it right and figure out what you're doing. It seems like your secret sauce was that scraping tool that's able to find those listings and then key into your existing algorithm in order to make that match. That seemed like a really powerful advantage you guys had.
Our philosophy was never like full automation of anything. It was really building power user tools. So it wasn't like we had some magic system that just automatically sent emails. We didn't have that. We instead just built tools so that we could look at someone's website and better understand what was happening under the hood with hiring and things like that. And so that is a philosophy I think can be helpful, is don't try to strive for full automation as much as possible. Try to build power user tools. And that applies to sales, like write your own little scripts to look for keywords in someone's LinkedIn or something, or, a Chrome extension you could use for prospecting or something like that, instead of like trying to fully automate it. Because if you fully automate things before you get it right, then it won't work. And that's kind of like the unfortunate reality of software, is that it tends to be fairly binary in its outcome. Like it either works or it doesn't. And if you automate something that's not working, it still won't work. No matter how many, computers you throw at it or how much data it collects, if it's not working, it's unlikely to just randomly start working one day.